Hey there, YouTubers. I'm gonna do a ramble and I'm gonna do a recap of my Lake Superior trip. I'll put some links and stuff to places I stayed and a little bit of info and all that kind of good stuff, so that if you yourself are looking to do any of these places, maybe it's something that'll help you enjoy your trip a little better. So onward to some nature. All right, I'm going to show you the basic trip I took up around Lake Superior. I went up the center of Michigan on 75 and then traced the lake. It was about 2,500 miles to be exact. It was 2469. I always say my RV will get 15 miles to the gallon. I actually checked it and it didn't get 15 miles to the gallon on this trip. It got 14.91 for the entire trip. Advantage Class B. So here we are in John Bryan State Park. I'm going to start this video. I'm going to move around to different places. I'm using the Luminix camera, which is supposed to have wind deadening microphone, so we'll see because we got a little wind today. All right, so the best place to start at the beginning. I'm going to try to go through this relatively quickly. I started off in Dayton, Ohio, and drove up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan because this is all about going around Lake Superior. So the first leg of the trip is pretty much driving straight up 75 and crossing the mighty Mackinac Bridge. It is mighty Mackinac Bridge, and a campsite at the casino. My first stop was just over the bridge in St. Ignace. There's a Quawadin Casino there in St. Ignace. And also I'm going to put links into stuff. Nice casino, 15 bucks a night. They got a decent RV area, 20-some odd slots, with water and electric and a dump station. The water was a good part because for the drive up, I kept my tanks empty. Why carry that extra weight? And once I got up there, I filled up my tanks. And then it was time for more driving and more rambling. So from there, I went on to Marquette, Michigan. And I stayed at another casino, the Ojibwa Casino. Love, love, love the Ojibwa Casino. But the only problem is they're doing construction now, so I don't know what future is going to be. Ojibwa was totally free. They give you money to gamble. They give you drink cards. It worked out great. The water that I took up from the last place was awesome because that's what I use to do my showering. Because they have electric, but they don't have any dump and they don't have water. And from there I spent almost just under a month. It was almost a month that I stayed there, which is a little embarrassing. But if you go to the link about the casino, in that general area is going to be all the places that I went to. I got a thing for Marquette, and I highly recommend checking out Marquette, Michigan. So I use it as my base, and I rode the bike in, and I explored everything. While there, I rented a car, went up to Copper Harbor, and all around the central area of the UP. It was pretty awesome. So if you check out the links in the description, there'll be a link to the casino and maybe a couple other links, but in that general area you're going to see all the things I saw in Marquette, from the cool construction in the city to things along the lake, tons of sunsets, almost every night sunsets. Waterfalls, I went and saw there's like a dozen pretty decent waterfalls in the general area, so I rented a car because I don't carry a toad and really explored that whole area. So that was pretty awesome. So in Marquette, not only did I stay at the casino, on the way out, I actually won enough money that I paid for a lot of things during the trip with the money won at the casino, including campsites. I spent a couple days at the end of that casino run in Marquette Township Park. And then from Marquette, we moved on, and I'll move on to tell you about that from another location here at John Bryan State Park. Come on. So I really got to say, I think the camping at Ojibwa Casino in Marquette's about as good as it gets. I really enjoy this place. Awesome sunsets to check out. Lake and Inland, I checked that out. I hiked a long section of the North Country Trail on many, many days, rode the bike on it, went into town. Gene K's, my favorite pasties in the area. I hiked up the two mountains in Marquette area for some beautiful views. Saw all the waterfalls. I drove up to Copper Harbor, went to Estivant Pines, checked out local areas. There's fairs almost every weekend to do stuff. Won money at the casino, 4th of July, enjoyed the fireworks, and the beautiful architecture of Marquette. I'm a big fan of the buildings in Marquette, and I always say, if you've seen my videos, You know I kind of got a thing for Marquette. The ore dock and having fires on the beach where I enjoyed just wandering. Pretty cool place. Nice sunset again, huh? And I liked Marquette Township Park, especially their showers after a month in the Class B. Then I moved on to awesome Ontonagon.
So that brings us to Ontonagon Township Park, by far my favorite campground of the entire trip.
The river was making a little too much noise, so let's try this spot.
By far my favorite campground. I stayed there almost 2 weeks. I explored the Porcupine Mountains, Lake of the Clouds, Mirror Lake, met great people there. 21 bucks a night for part of it, and 23 when I was on the lakefront. Really check this place out. I don't even want to tell people, but it's awesome. And we moved on.
Honestly, some stunning sunsets, and you can see them right from your campsite when you got waterfront. It was a great sight. I mean, it was right on the water. And then you also got the opportunity to go to Porcupine Mountains and do some hiking. That right there is Lake of the Clouds, just stunning spot. And we also, when you're in Porcupine Mountains, there's waterfalls everywhere. And also go to Mirror Lake, and it's got mirrors. And not too far away is a place where you can have dinner with the bears if you want that. So after 2 weeks in Ontonagon, it was time to go to Bayfield, Wisconsin for the Apostle Islands.
That brings us to Bayfield, Wisconsin. Really liked Bayfield. While there, I explored the little town. I took the boat out to Madeline Island, which was really cool. Spent the day on a bike out there. Then took the Apostle Islands cruise, which was pretty cool. Once you get out to the sea caves, that was really neat. Stayed at Dalrymple Campground for I think 4 nights, 25 bucks a night. Nice campground, all the firewood you could burn. And from there, a short little trip to another campground. I stayed at 2 or 3 days, Sand Bay, and that was also 25 bucks a day. And then the trip continued.
So Dalrymple was another one of those township parks. I really like that because you're helping the community. And beautiful sea caves when you do the Apostle Islands cruise. It's just gorgeous out there. You can go to Madeline Island on the ferry and ride around there. I enjoyed doing that. If you choose to, you can even take your RV there. I didn't do that, but I enjoyed Madeline Island. So then I moved just a few miles away to Sand Bay Campground, and I liked that place too. So then it was time to leave the Apostle Islands, drive through Duluth, and go up the north coast of Minnesota to Grand Portage and to Isle Royale.
That brought us to Grand Portage, Minnesota. Kind of the highlight of my trip, my main destination. And you go to Grand Portage to get to Isle Royale. The boat cost 75 bucks. It was an awesome trip. The casino, I stayed there for 3 days, got me to Isle Royale and let me explore the local area. And it was 35 bucks a night at the casino. I didn't win any money there, but it was awesome. From there, started heading back slowly. I wanted to get to Grand Portage because I wanted to go to Isle Royale. I don't remember exactly what it costs to pay the national park because I got the annual pass, so it was free, but it's not a lot. So on Isle Royale, I got to hike around a lot. I saw a moose pretty close. It's going to be in the links in the description block. And the place I stayed there was the Indian Casino at Grand Portage. And I explored around there. There's some other things at Grand Portage that were kind of neat to do. Some mountains to hike and some trails and stuff like that. The casino, I liked the casino. There was a shower house and a laundry and all that kind of good stuff. The reason I stayed there is there's not a lot of camping very nearby to catch the boat.
So when you get to Grand Portage, you're about 7 miles from Canada. And it's a pretty nice spot with good views for your RV. I liked their campground. I thought it was pretty good. A little pricey, but it was good. But Grand Portage has a national monument. There's things to see there. The old trading post. Then I jumped on the boat and I went out to Isle Royale. Again, the reason I went there. Awesome. I should put more pictures in here, but this is just a brief overview. Tallest lighthouse on Superior, and here's some more views around Grand Portage National Monument. A really cool place. I highly suggest it. Never know, I could go back there. I mean, look at this. It's just stunning. Beautiful place. I highly recommend. Highly, highly. Then drove back down beautiful north coast of Minnesota.
The drive down from Grand Portage back to Two Harbors was really nice. In fact, I hope one day to get a chance to go back again because it was a weekend and it was just too crowded for some things. But some beautiful sights along the way. Now, I would have to say, of all the places I stayed, this campground at Two Harbors was probably my least favorite. The facilities were nice and the people were nice, but it was just too crowded. but I did explore the little town of Two Harbors, and it was kind of cool. I only spent one night there because I had to move on.
But along the way, I got to see more beautiful waterfalls, some pretty stunning and almost scary cliffs really high. It's just gorgeous in this area. And here's the campground again. I had a really nice spot, but they were all cramped. And Two Harbors is a nice little town worth checking out. Hey, it's an RV trip, so it was time to get back in the RV and head to Ashland, Wisconsin.
Brings us to Ashland, Wisconsin. I really like this campground. Creer, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it was very nice. I spent, I believe it was 4 days. It's been long enough now that my memory is crap and I'm not exactly sure how many days. And that was $32 a night. I'm pretty sure it was 4 nights I stayed there. They also have another campground in town called Prentice. I checked it out, but I didn't stay there. But a nice town in that area. But then it was time to move on. Like we're gonna do with this. We'll go someplace else. Give you something different behind me not to look at.
Arriving on the weekend, I ended up with 2 different campsites. The second one was right on the water, really nice. And it's a nice town, famous for the murals, but there was even more than just murals. It was a nice town. The next stop was really just because I'd driven by a couple times and wanted to check the place out.
Brings us to Wakefield, Michigan in the UP. Cool place. Really, really cool place. I stayed there 2 days. It's a private little thing that a guy started up just because he'd been traveling and he wanted people to have a place to stay. I'll stick the video in it, but it was just donation, whatever you thought it was worth. His wife also runs a place in town and I went and bought some socks. From there we moved on again.
I got some great alpaca socks for hiking, but this is a beautiful spot right on a small lake. And again, donate what you feel is right. And there's a shower house. Just great people doing nice stuff on a beautiful spot for other people. Back in the RV for a relatively short drive to Baraga, Michigan.
That got us to Baraga, Michigan. Nice place. A lot of camping options there. There was Ojibwa Campground, really cool. I did a tour of that. There was Baraga State Park, which is the oldest state park in the Upper Peninsula. But I stayed at the Ojibwa Casino. Liked the place, explored a lot, lots to see and do around there. I gotta butt in and tell you, it's a lot harder to do these talking at the camera things when you're out and about because you're stopping all the time for wind, for trash you picked up from somebody leaving, and from cars and people going by. So back to it. Stayed at Ojibwa Casino, $10 a night, normally 20, but the water was out. So you had full hookups, but no water at the site. You could pick it up someplace else. Awesome deal. $10 a night, stayed there 3 nights, and my gambling paid for it, and I took some of their money. Because then it was time to move on to the next place. Just like here.
I like this casino. I thought the sites were nice. At the end, we're going to do it why you should or why you shouldn't do casinos, but this place had a pool, it had a bowling alley, it had a bar, and the towns of Baraga and Lance are really nice and worth checking out. Then it was back in the RV, drive through Marquette, and end up in Munising.
Next we get back to Munising. I stayed at another casino. This is Campgrounds Casino. Totally free, electric, good place. I toured around, I stayed 2 nights. Actually, another place that I left with some of their money. So that was pretty cool. And I toured a really nice campground in the Munising Township Park that if I were to get back this way, which I say a lot on these videos, I would probably stay there. I recommend it. It was pretty cool.
Now at this casino on Christmas, you're just in a parking lot with some power to hook up to. But hey, it's free. Then it was time to head back near the bridge. Not over the bridge, but near the bridge at a repeat place.
Back to almost where we started from. Brings us back to the bridge at St. Ignace. Campgrounds Casino again for 1 night. And then I moved on again.
My guess is my casino winnings at least paid for my gas for the trip. I know the way back from Grand Portage was pretty much backtracking, but I had an aunt that I wanted to see.
Which brought us to my aunt's house, just south of Traverse City. You're not going to get to see any of that because, you know, that's my aunt's house. Why is that your business? It's not your business. 1 night there, great dinner, good to see family, and then it was time to press on to Ohio.
Then I drove back on familiar roads because I've been going up to that area for years and had the bittersweet drive back to Ohio.
So that was a trip, some of the highlights to it, and I'll get back in the car and start driving back and we'll ramble a little bit about it. All right.
So, why the purpose of this video? A, I tried to do something a little different, and two, I was trying to sum up a long, great trip around Lake Superior to show you there's some really cool places. I think it was about 2,500 miles, which I will guess that I'll put the exact mileage in there somewhere. Let's go up this hill. Let's not hit anybody coming down this hill. It's tight. So there you go, YouTubers. I hope you enjoyed trying to sum up a long trip and share with you some cool places to go. That's my attempt at a quick and concise wrap up of a 2.5 month trip. I'm sure it was neither quick nor concise. So as I do my wrap up, I'll show you some pictures of John Bryan State Park. This is Yellow Springs, Ohio. Pretty nice area. Sometimes you can't always get far away, so it's nice to go nearby. Now this video, I tend to have a few people that kind of follow me. This video is really not for you. This video is because you've already seen it. This video is mainly for other people that might be wanting to check out Lake Superior. And again, hopefully this will give you some ideas of what you can do and places you can stay, things you can see. That's why I'm going to put a link to a few videos in the description part. That way, if there's something that you see a picture or hear me talking about you find interesting, you could stop and check out. This trip was almost 2.5 months long. About half of it was free camping at casinos, and the other half was paying to camp. Also, if you see some of these look like artwork, that's a super photo app. Because I travel with pets, I like having power. Casino camping can be great or can be really expensive. You got to be careful with yourself. The two Ojibwa casinos gave $5 a day to gamble with, which was kind of cool. So my main thing was not to get greedy, and some days I won 15, 20 bucks of their money, and I took the money and walked. I didn't try to win great sums of money, because usually you end up giving them great sums of money. I hope this was a tiny bit helpful and that you have a great and wonderful day.